Yeah. Huh. Yep. All right. Big up ADOTS, African descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. Big up the Prophet Rasayam. Malan vibes, power involved. All right, so I'm here on the beautiful island of Grenada. This is my going away bath, you know. Have the sand all over, because that's the best thing when the mosquitoes is itching you. You come and you take a nice sand scrub. Yeah, so, you know, we're here walking along the beach, seeing the niceness. And in comparison, because I came from Africa not too long ago, right? And I still prefer Africa compared to the niceness of the Caribbean, the beauty of the Caribbean, because once the beauty is done, you know, what else is there? We're talking about Grenada in specific, but like kind, Grenada is a place with a population of about 100,000 residents and many more abroad. Now, most of these small islands, Aruba, St. Vincent, you know, even Trinidad and Tobago, which has about 2 million people compared to Grenada. You know, Jamaica is bigger, Haiti, all those places. Big up the Caribbean brethren. And it's an import society. They need a lot of things here. They rely on a lot of things in Grenada, you know. And if you're not one of the big businesses, there's high tariffs on the imports for you. For example, like most countries, even in Africa, you're trying to bring in, let's say, a vehicle for purchase, and it costs so much money to clear the vehicle, it's better to not get the vehicle. And food in the islands is something that's not as stable as other places, because the nature of the island, especially the mountainous ones, there's not a lot of animals grazing, you know, so you don't have the benefit of a lot of animals grazing. A lot of corned food is still being sold if it's not fish. And let's say if you wanted to start a business, 100,000 people is probably not going to do it. For example, if you're selling mangoes or peanuts, let's say you're selling peanuts, where do you harvest the peanuts domestically in the island? And then because you have 100,000 people, it doesn't mean that all of them are subject to your market. Some will be allergic to peanuts, some will be, you know, not prefer to eat peanuts. Whereas if you have a population, let's say Nigeria, 250 million people, you know, Uganda, 50 million people, Ghana, about 44 million people. You're talking about Ethiopia, I think last I checked, 180 million people. So these places are big populations where there's a margin for error in business if things don't work out, because there's always going to be a need with that many people involved. In the Caribbean right now, the people who have up the money, who build the wall houses and stuff that we see, there are people who pretty much possibly have family members abroad, you know. And back in the old days, a lot of those people, especially the Indians, were left plantations by the colonialists. They were left big estates by the colonialists, and it takes generations for wealth to be gained, and even more generations for wealth to be lost if you're a little bit wise. So you know, the question is, when you think of the future of the Caribbean, that's scheduled to reduce in by about 16% population in the next 10 to 15 years. And when you think about it, what is left for the youth who don't have estates, who don't have land? You know, people here always complain that you thief some breadfruit, he thief some mango, he thief some coconut and went to sell. But really and truly, affordability, you know, comes from having lands, and not too many people have lands in these places. Now, in Africa, okay, easy. In Africa, there is such opportunities to go and, you know, purchase some lands, open up a business, get something going for yourself. You know, you can pool money together with friends, just like they do the susu hand, the friend hand and those things. and invest in a business. In Africa, we are visa-free in Grenada to many of the countries. I think except for Ghana right now for some reason, you know. But many of the countries, Tanzania, Congo, Uganda, Ethiopia, most of the Caribbean islands are visa-free. So, you know, when you get the opportunity to travel, I suggest to anyone who's, you know, of a mature age, once you get the chance, go and check out the continent. Population and cost-wise, it's easier to start up and run a business, because in these small islands, the people who are already wealthy, from what I see, will continue to be wealthy, and they pass it on the land to succession. So when does the little youth who is growing up, or who is 8 years old, who is 12 years old right now, how is he going to get the money if he has no one, he or she has no one overseas to be able to amass enough money to get a loan from the bank to go start a business? So you're always going to be in the position for working for people, and that's never going to be 100% eliminated. But I speak to it because there is so much opportunity across the sea in Africa that, you know, there should be a fund for young Caribbean people who have the desire to go back. I know reparation talk is there, but part of the reparation has to be a fund established in order to give young people the chance to travel. And many of them, I guarantee you, wish Africa won't come back. Me, myself, I have the experience of buying in Africa, opening up business in Africa, to the point of exporting to international markets. And if I had tried that from Grenada or in North America where I am, it would have been very difficult because of the cost of running business and the wage pay, you know. So you know, this is my deposition. Despite the beauty of the Caribbean, not only for economic purposes, but the beauty of Tanzania, you know, Mount Kilimanjaro, Zanzibar, you know, Uganda, the Rwenzori Mountains, Jinja, all those places, you know, Queen Elizabeth Park, Murchison Falls, you know, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kumasi. The beauty that's in those places is comparable to the beauty in the Caribbean, and we are physically fit and ready to be able to live in that type of environment already. So I speak to it because I believe there's a lot more opportunity for the descendants of the transatlantic slavery still living abroad, and especially with the population scheduled to decrease while Africa is increasing. What are we really, you know, hanging on to over here? Yes, it's going to get more expensive. Yes, inflation is going up. Yes, importing is going to be harder to do because the people who are rich don't try to make it easy for, you know, poor people to get a piece of the pie. So sometimes, you know, people move from England to Canada to America to better their living. Europeans did that before, moved all around the world because the rich people don't give up their sum of the share. You have to make some moves and some different strategies to get that. So I support the ADOTS movement. I support the righteous movement that Rasayam has going off, the Black Star movement. And yeah, here in the Caribbean, love the beauty, you know, scenario. Beautiful place, man. I can't find anywhere, you know, more peaceful, more beauty, except for in Africa. And I want to tell you, as someone, those things are possible in Africa. You could find comparable beauty and even more beauty, you know. And so that's my deposition. Like I said, signing off. Marlin Vibes. You know, hit me on YouTube. Hit the man Rasayam in the ADOTS movement, Black Star movement, and that's what we're gonna do it. About to get on a plane in a few hours. I'm taking my last rinse, and then taking a seabed, and then head back home, say goodbye to the parents, and back to the movement. God willing, see you soon, Africa, and we'll be there. Love Africa. One black people, one Africa, one love, one world. Take care. Yeah, so I forgot to add, this right here where I'm standing, this is Orwins Bay. And this is in the north of the island. This is the northmost point of Grenada. So this right here is the spot where the Atlantic Ocean meets the Caribbean Sea. Over at this point, you go north that way, you find Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, and those places. You know, we're in the Lesser Antilles now, and this place, this bay right here, this is the first place where the slave ship landed in Grenada. This is called Orwins Bay. first place. And you had a lot of indentured Indian people from India who came here. This is not our home. We met Seminoles here. We met over here Arawak and Caribbean Indian. And we've made this place our home because of economic shackles and, you know, legislative shackles also. And behind over there, behind me, behind that escarpment is a place called Rattan Bay, a rich Indian family that owns possibly many plantations and properties in the Caribbean. The whole bay is theirs, you know. But in any other island, this would be taken over by resorts and stuff. But in Grenada, for now, you can still find peace and find a lush forest, you know, behind you, and then an open sea. Few places in the Caribbean you could still have that. So it's a blessing, something like that in Grenada. So yeah, that's the part I forgot to add in. And big up yourself, Ras I Am, ADOTS movement, coming from Island Vibes, on location in Grenada, the Caribbean. Take care.